guys, Chef Judd's video from Salt and Vanilla coming to you again. I got another recipe for you. Actually, it's more of a technique. I have a rack of venison here and I'm going to show you how to clean it, but the main purpose of this video is to show you how to truss it or how to tie it for a roast. Okay, so let me show you that. First, I want to start off by showing you the rack. You see how you have this layer of connective tissue? Now, in most of the butcher shops, they're gonna leave that on because they're not gonna trim that because of the weight of them going in and cutting it. So they're gonna leave that on. Now, if you're at home, this is a tough piece of connective tissue or skin lining that is really not pleasant to eat. So the way to clean this is you kind of go in with the tip of your knife on one hand, and you see how I have just a little bit of the connective tissue or the silver lining of the skin, okay? And you just want to run that all the way down until you get that skin coming off. Again, we can do it again. Okay, this would be the same way that you would clean a rack of lamb. Okay, it's almost the same process. Actually, it is the same process. Okay, and I'm going to show you another little thing here. Okay, so you have most of that connective tissue there. Now, you do have this other piece here. I don't know if you can see that, but you have another piece underneath there. Now, again, in a lot of restaurants, they'll leave that on because that's a good piece of meat. Okay, and then when you're biting through, you kind of have, you have this eye. It's almost like a ribeye. Okay, so you have this. This is the cap. This is what you would call the cap. So you can either leave it on or you can take it off. I'm going to leave it on right now just for the sake of time and effort. Now, there's two ways of going about tying this now. The thought process behind doing this is so that it all looks the same, but it all cooks the same. You can see how you have kind of a fat end, and then it kind of narrows down to the skinny end. So the thought is that the whole thing would kind of cook at the same rate or the same time. So one way of doing it, okay, is you go underneath and you could tie in between each rack. Okay, so you could tie it in between each rack, okay, and then that way you get your little chop, okay? There's some bees around, but don't mind them. So that's one way of doing it. But the real, what I really want to show you is how to do the whole roast, okay? Let's say you had a lamb loin, or you had a tenderloin, a beef tenderloin, and you wanted to truss it. So I'm gonna take it off the bone. Okay, and the way to do that is you have your knife, okay, and you have your bones. You want it at an angle, and then you want it to kind of go along the grain of the bone, okay? So you're just following it all the way down, okay, until you come away with your rack, okay? This is perfect for stock. Okay, so it's not wasted if you wanted to roast that separately. Okay, so now you have your loin, okay? So from here, you want to get a long piece of butcher's twine here, okay? You can find this at any market, okay? And what you want to do is, you see how you can come underneath of it, okay? So you want to start off at the end, okay? And you want to tie a little knot, okay, tight. Okay, and the way to make it really easy on yourself, so you don't have to tie a knot the whole way down the roast, is you take it, okay, you bring your hand and you make a little loop, okay? You make a loop, and then you bring the loop. Could have made my loop a little bigger to make it a little easier on myself. But so you make a little loop, and then you can kind of pull down, move it. you can pull down now, and you're pushing, okay, to tighten it. Okay, so we'll do it again. We'll make a loop. I'll make it a little bigger so it's easy to come behind it. Okay, and you can see how I'm trying to line it up. Okay, if yours line doesn't line up exactly, that's okay. So now you want to come down and tighten it up a little bit. Okay, again, make a loop. Okay, and I'm kind of pulling to kind of keep the line going down the center if I can try. Okay, again, if it's not perfect, it's okay. Okay, again, you're just kind of going down the line. Okay, trying to leave about the same amount of space in between each one. Okay, and you can kind of straighten them up if they don't look too straight. Again, if it's not perfect, don't worry. Okay, so that's basically how you tie a roast. Okay. Again, if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. You can tie off the ends here. Okay. Now sometimes you can flip it over and you can adjust the strings on this side if they didn't turn out perfectly, like mine didn't. That's okay. Again, you can adjust it, okay, to make it a little bit better. Sometimes you'll see some roast where they'll do a line this way and then come back the other way. If you want to do that, you can. I normally don't. But this is the basic technique of how to tie a roast. So I hope you enjoyed it. Check out other recipes on saltandvanilla.com.